So, it's been over a week since Wuthering Waves launch, 7 days since my account has been created, and it's been a fun experience. I'm nearly Union level 34 with a completed Echo databank and completed the experiment zone in Tower Adversity. But there's a lot to talk about, so I'll try to be prompt and make separate videos going into further detail for other aspects of the game. Firstly, to be frank, I don't have much of an opinion of the story. It feels like your usual adventure story with the main character having amnesia, with mysterious bad guys that may or may not actually be bad guys, etc. To add on to that, I did skip the story before the skip update anyway, whenever possible, because I believed that something that is skippable means it's not important or not too relevant to the story. I was unfortunately corrected when I watched streamers go through the story that I skipped, because they don't really skip the story, at least for the ones that I've watched, and I realized that those sections I've skipped had some relevance and adds further context to the story that would have been very informative for me at the time. Not to mention that the skippable parts were still voiced, so it makes me wonder as to why they were skippable in the first place. So next up is the gameplay, but before we go into that, I'd like for all of you to check this out if you haven't done so already. I mean, I haven't been doing it myself either, but this will be very helpful for checking out every character that you obtain, so you can at least understand the basics of their gameplay in order for you to be able to, utilize them well. And there's also the basic training. So be sure to check this out if you're unsure how to play a character. And then if you want to go into even further detail, that's when you can check out videos that other people have uploaded in terms of like their own strats. Moving on, I feel that the game mechanics are very straightforward and even simple when looked at separately. But when you have all of them available in your arsenal, the game becomes more intricate and fun. I do have occasional issues with the gameplay, mainly the targeting system against multiple enemies, and preferably to have an option to zoom out even further against very large foes, mainly the Overlord or Calamity class bosses. Speaking of gameplay, as I said in my previous video, Jian is probably not a good character to get used to, even though I did say that it's very good for beginners. I'm saying this because since he trivializes the gameplay due to how easy he is to play, it may potentially give new players a misleading impression towards the gameplay and how that gameplay will evolve in the future. So there's I believe a one-time clear endgame. Now you can, I believe, re-challenge the difficulties, right, with new teams in the future, but in terms of the rewards that you get, I believe these are one-time only, and then the shop itself doesn't seem to be refreshing. And so I believe once you finish all the difficulties, you'll be able to purchase everything in the shop. And this is a quick look at the shop, this one, the simulation training store. So I believe once you do all of them, you'll be able to purchase everything in here, including the phantom skins, aka their shiny versions. But yeah, this tactical hologram is currently just for 4 of the calamities. I mean, well, 4 of the bosses here. Well, these are technically Overlord echoes, but they called it tactical hologram calamity here. But in any case, it's pretty challenging. They progressively become more difficult as you defeat each difficulty, obviously, and you might need to get a higher union level to increase your character's levels further before challenging the other ones. But there have already been clears of the higher difficulties, so it's probably possible to do them all right now. So Wuthering Waves also has a recurring endgame called Tower of Adversity. I'm not sure if this is currently the only recurring endgame that we have at the moment, but if it is, it makes sense because it just came out, right? But it's your usual thing where you have, in this case, you have 3 towers eventually, requiring you to have, at the least 3 teams prepared. One tower will have a boost to a certain particular thing, in this case boost arrow element, and then another tower, again certain particular boost, but in this case a different element. And then the middle one is your overall neutral boost, but the enemies are considerably harder. at level 100. And then by recurring, I mean that after a certain amount of time, this will reset, everything will go back to 0. The rewards you obtained previously will also reset, allowing you to reobtain them again. My main point here is just to talk about the unique system that they have, which is very nice. I will call it the Vigor cost system. So any zone that you do, every character in that zone will start at 10 energy. Right? Start at 10 energy. And then for each floor, the amount of Vigor that will be consumed will go up. So first floor is 1 cost, then 2, then 3, then 4. So it adds up to 10. So theoretically, if you have a team of 3 on one tower, a different team of 3 on another tower, and then a final team of 3 on the third tower, you'll be able to complete all of them, right? But what you can also do is play around with the Vigor cost and allow one main team to finish the final floors. And that's what I did. So for the other team, I used up 1 cost, 3 cost, and then another 1, 2, 3 cost here, adding up to 10. And then my other team did 4 cost on the final floor there, 4 cost here, and then a 2 cost there, totaling another 10. Quick note on the farming stages, I would suggest focusing on leveling up your characters and making them stronger. So Forgery challenge for your weapon and skill materials, and an EXP only if you need it, only as you need it, same for shell credit. Boss challenge definitely for limit breaking your characters. Tacit field is below on the list of priorities because it's harder to obtain useful echoes on the go, but upgrading your characters is a worthwhile investment all the time. And also don't forget to do your weekly challenges for talent tree level up materials. And then there's tower adversity, but that's just extra. If I haven't mentioned already, the game obviously has events, right? And then just be sure to check these out whenever, just in case, so you don't miss out on anything. But so far the events haven't been too much. I said like you'll be able to do them pretty casually, but that might always change. But I just thought I'd let you know. Now we have the echoes and the echo system. Echoes are the monsters / enemies in this game, and echoes are listed into 3 cost groups. And at the moment there are only a few echoes that have a shiny version. Now moving on, commons are 1 cost, elites are 3 cost, overlord and calamity class are 4 cost. You can mix and match these within your 5 echo slots per character to create your desired build. My favorite part here though is that you can farm these echoes without using time-gated resources, just by traversing through the overworld, which is an ingenious idea. This is because it has a Pokédex type system that has a tracker that works until you defeated every targeted echo available on the map, which will refresh the next reset. And you can even farm this particular boss on the easiest stage for infinite echoes. The icing on the cake is that these echoes also drop useful materials that are used to strengthen your characters. So not only are you just farming echoes for better equipment, you're also farming them because they drop useful materials to limit break your characters, as an example. Now, one major drawback that I really don't like, but I guess it makes sense, is that you cannot use echoes as fodder to level up echoes up, because you need to instead farm tacit fields, which cost 60 stamina. I'll just call it stamina. It costs 60 stamina per run just for the level up material. Now you'll also get echoes whilst doing it, as well as tuning materials to unlock the substats, but the main purpose is mainly for the echo experience. And unfortunately, because of this, it will take some time, even if you're refreshing, to have plus 25 5-star echoes on all your characters. But over time you will eventually be able to do this, but unless you're rushing, it will take some time. Speaking of exploration, I'll just quickly go through it. Because of how the echo farming works in the overworld, I feel like the exploration experience is very nice because I can do it whilst I'm farming the echoes using the tracker. So, you know, just the overall experience is fun in general, but outside of that, it's just your usual exploration stuff. So some of them you have to defeat enemies, sometimes you have puzzles, and others you have like different time limited challenges that you have to succeed in order to obtain all the chests and rewards. But outside of that, pretty nice. Lastly, my current experience slash situation with this game at the moment is that there's not much to do outside of becoming stronger for the Tower of Adversity, as the rest can be done at my leisure, and I've done most of what I needed to do already. Now, do I feel lost? Well, kinda. You know, since I finished the Echo database, you know, it was a fun journey, but it's currently come to a halt. So I'm mainly looking forward to new Echoes being released, if they plan on doing so anyway. I'm also looking forward to the next part of the main story, which ended the current arc in a pretty cool way in my opinion. But other than that, I feel like it's just grinding from here on to get stronger while waiting for new stuff. On a side note, I haven't spoken about the meta in this game, quote-unquote meta in this game yet, but that's because for one, I'm not informed enough, and two, I'm mainly just enjoying the game. Well, it's come to the end of the video. These are my thoughts about my experience so far within the 7 days of playing Wuthering Waves, and I hope it's a productive video that is of help to you in any way possible. If you got any questions in regards to this game or anything in general, do let me know down in the comments below. It's been your boy Nitrostorm. I'll see you guys in the next stream or video. Peace.